Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Castro once again at YS Stocks and Options. And what we're going to do today, we're just going to go straight to the charts, right? You guys seen us do this over and over again where we do a weekly forecast of the market. And today's not going to be another different day. We're just going to forecast what we see the market doing based on the charts. Of course, the first thing that we like to look at is the candle itself, right? Followed by the volume, right? The respective volume for each one of the futures or composite averages. And then lastly, we like to look at the stochastics and the CCI, the commodity channel index, and again, the stochastics. Those are the 1, 2, 3, 4 things that we'd like to look at in order for us to, make our forecast and see what the market is going to do for the following week, right? So let's get to it, right? So first one that we're going to do is QQQ, the triple Qs. And what we're seeing with the triple Qs is a few things. So we see the triple Qs closed here. It closed last week in the bearish, right? Bearish doji here, right? Closing the bearish doji, but more importantly than this bearish doji is that, or candle, right? Is the support area right below that, right? We see the 21 EMA, right? The moving average moving downward. Again, you know that a bearish candle doji is like a signal for lower price movement. But as you can see here with the volume too, you see the volume increased Thursday, right? We had 62 million, right, transactions for volume here versus on Friday it was 80. So the volume increased, not even slightly, but a substantial amount, right? Almost 20 million more transactions for Friday. So with that being said, and also looking at the stochastics and followed by the CCI, the volume here just leads me to believe that on Monday we're going to see a slight pop, but I think this is going to continue down for the downside. So I will probably say that the volume for the 23rd here, we're going to see slower volume, right? But I would say that this is going a little bit lower, seeing that we have this, bearish candle here, higher volume. And I would say this is going to go a little bit lower. We should have this stock, this composite, the Q's coming a little bit lower. The same thing that we can actually see here. We see that the stochastics here, the percentage K is trending downward, right? And also the percentage delta is coming downward with it. So I'm led to believe that next week we're going to see a downward movement for the Qs, right? The same thing that you can see here with the CCI, the commodity channel index is trading downward. So we might see a little pop, but overall for this one here, overall, I see this going a little bit lower and testing the support over here for $34 and I'll say about 30 cents, right? $334. Let's go to the IWM. So you guys know that the IWM is the one that I've had a long price target on that one in particular, right? So it hasn't really moved as I wanted to, right? But I still anticipate that it's going to test the support area here of $190 in the next few weeks to come. And if it breaks through there, right, we should see IWM, right, test, break 190 and then retest 190, which is going to be resistance. And then of course coming down to the 160, right? Because of course there's a gap here and this gap has not been filled, right? So that's so that's what I'm anticipating for just the Qs, as I've touched on before. I don't know why this thing's acting up or whatever. So let's go to the next one. Right? Let's go to DIA, the diamonds. For the diamonds, really no difference from the diamonds here as we're seeing sort of the same thing with the diamonds, right? See the diamonds here that it closed on a bearish doji here for the week. Matter of fact, too, that's the weekly. Let's focus on a daily, right? So what we see here, we saw it closed here in a bearish candle, right? So this looks like a spinning top, right? Even with the spinning top, I'm really anticipating that this is going to come just slightly. You know what? I'm gonna leave it there. So with this doji here, we're going to see a slight little pop up, But overall, I still anticipate that the diamonds are going to test this support area here. That is $331, right? We might see a slight little pop on Tuesday, but overall, right, my price target for this one that I drew earlier is what is it? $331.63. That's because, again, the volume, right? The volume is trading a little bit higher, right? We got higher volume here, right? Thursday we had 4 million for volume, and on Friday we had 6 million for the diamonds here. And what are we seeing with the stochastics here, right? The stochastics is trending downward, right? See that trending downward, and the CCI, look at that, the CCI is trending downward too, right? Bearish territory, right? So I think this is going to go a little bit downward, right, for the week to come, but it's going to pop a little bit, and then I think the rest of the trajectory for it is going to be downward. There's really no change for the VIX, right? Of course, you guys know that I like to look at the VIX before I look at the broader market, which is the SPY. So believe it or not, the VIX did exactly what we'll move some of these lines here. I drew these with my guys. So the VIX did exactly what we projected, right? I say that the VIX was going to touch here, so this support area, right, the mean, and then of course continue to go up, and that's exactly what it's doing, right? And again, I anticipate the VIX pulling back just a little bit as the market tries to rally just a tad bit, but continue on, again, testing that 40 level RSI. And you can clearly see it in the stochastics, like the stochastics is trending upward, right? The percentage delta is trending upward, and also the percentage Q, what I'm saying, the percentage Q, the percentage K. Yeah, the percentage K, which is this line here, the gold line, is actually trending upwards, and so is the percentage delta here, right? And the same thing can be said about the stochastic, the CCI, the commodity channel index, right? We see the commodity channel index, it broke here, it broke bullish territory, and now it's trending upwards, as you guys can see here. So that's why I'm still bullish for the VIX, and of course, if we're bullish for the VIX, we can expect the spiders to go down, right? So I drew my lines already for the spiders, right? I anticipate the spiders coming down just a tad bit, and then eventually coming down, right? Testing the support area here, right? And that's going to be by Friday. So let's say again, and I drew this volume bar here for some reason. Again, seeing that we closed here in a bearish candle, right? I anticipate we're going to come up just a tad bit, right? But overall for the week, I see us going down, right? Going down following the week. And it's because of this here, right? As we can see, the mean is just coming downward, right? And as the mean can continue to come downward, we're going to see the mean become resistance. And if it becomes resistance, this is going to go a little bit lower, testing $420, right? $421, possibly this week or early next week, right? So that's my price forecast for this one, $421, which is about what, $13 away from where we're currently trading right now. Really $12 by the end of the week. So this is so yeah, we'll see what happens with this, right? So that's it, right? That's the forecast for all the futures. Again, we covered QQQs, triple Qs, the Dow Jones Industrials. We covered the IWM, the Russell 2000, and of course, we had to hit up the VIX because the VIX is very, very important in order for us to see the broader market, which is SPY. Of course, we know that the VIX, the fear index, is the polar opposite of SPY. Right? Let us know what you think about this, right? Easy forecast, again, looking at the volume, looking at the candle itself, and of course, looking at the stochastics, right? And also the CCI, the commodity channel index. Like I say all the time, guys, always practice logical emotions. And more importantly, we'll see you guys at the finish line. Peace and God bless.